Welcome back, everyone. Our next presenting company is Nightfood Holdings. It trades on the OTCQB under the ticker NGTF. With over 85% of adults regularly snacking between dinner and bed, Nightfood is addressing the opportunity that exists where nutrition and sleep intersect. Presenting today is Nightfood's founder and CEO, Sean Folkson. Welcome, Sean. I'm excited to hear about your company. How you doing today?
Great. Thanks so much. I'll just jump right in then, okay?
Jump in.
All right. Fantastic. So I am Sean Folkson. I'm the founder and CEO of Nightfood, and today we're going to talk about the future of nighttime snacking and how our company plans to leverage our ongoing national hotel rollout to create and dominate a new category, which we call sleep-friendly nighttime snacking. Now, a version of this presentation is linked from our investor website, which you can get to from nightfood.com, so you can read all the disclosures there. But this is the big picture, the big idea. And what we know is that 85% of Americans snack regularly at night, and it's estimated that they combine to spend over $1 billion weekly, and that over 40% of snacking takes place between dinner and bed. So there's well over $50 billion a week being spent on snacks consumed between dinner and bed. And the most popular choices are cookies, chips, candy, and ice cream. And everybody who's a nighttime snacker knows that we don't tend to crave healthy stuff as it gets closer and closer to bedtime. And the problem isn't just that snacking on these high-fat, high-sugar choices is generally unhealthy, which it is, but the bigger problem is that it can also disrupt and impair sleep quality. And while consumers have shifted billions of dollars of spend over to healthier versions of cookies, chips, and ice cream, Nightfood is the only company leading the way in snacks that are specifically formulated to be consumed before bed and formulated with better sleep in mind. And the snacking on these things won't stop. The cravings are hardwired. That's why we reach for these high-fat, high-sugar options at night. And we're not addressing a trend here. It's not a fad, right? This is real hardwired biological human programming, and it's a survival mechanism so that we put more fuel inside of our bodies, helps us survive, or it did with our cavemen ancestors. Now we've got easy access, most of us, to as many calories as we need, and the result is that these cravings are actually working against us, leading to weight gain, leading to guilt, and leading to impaired sleep. And we are the only company directly addressing the opportunity that exists where nutrition and sleep intersect, and the $50 billion consumers are currently spending on snacks consumed at night. Now, eating unhealthy stuff is not just an American phenomenon. This is something that we see throughout the developed world, and it could lead to certainly some very interesting international opportunities for us in the future. And here's what we're seeing in the developed nations around the world. We see that snacking is increasing, and that tends to be across all age groups. We see an increase in sleep quality continuing to decline, and consumers more and more are turning to functional foods. Now, each of these is a megatrend, and we've got three megatrends all conspiring and working together in our favor, which brings us to the conclusion that, the category is, we believe, inevitable. Right? And we believe the global players share our vision. We see Nestle, Unilever, Pepsi, Mondelez all talking about what people are eating at night. Look at that Nestle quote. They say people are looking to replace some of the junk that they're eating at night with better choices. And we see Unilever, they announced this research study last year that you see on the screen. And now more recently, within the last few months, they just announced that they've now moved on to looking at specific ingredients that they think can help with mood and with sleep. So we know that the global players are looking, and we believe that the category is coming. We think that their interest validates our belief. And so if the category is coming, the question is, who's going to be the category king? And when categories mature, often there is a category king that emerges, and that's the company that captures the largest market share and also captures the highest market cap. Now, obviously, 5-Hour Energy is the category king in energy shots. We see Vita Coco in coconut water and Chobani in Greek yogurt. Now, let's look at Chobani. They've got the smallest market share on the screen here, 43.5%. But what that means is that all the other companies, all the multinationals that are competing in the Greek yogurt space, they're all scratching and clawing and competing over the other 56.5%. So you've got Dannon with 3 entrants in the space. They've got Dannon, they've got Activia, they've got a brand called Too Good. You've got Lactalis, which has Siggy's and Stonyfield, which they recently acquired, competing in the space. You've got Tillamook, you got Faya, you got Wallaby. Hain Celestial has a new entrant in the space called the Greek Gods. And they're all fighting over what's left after Chobani has their market share. And Chobani is the upstart, and they've got an IPO pending with a $10 billion market cap. Now, remember, the entire Greek yogurt category is only $3.3 billion. The total yogurt category is $7.1 billion. And here's category king Chobani, the upstart, with 43% of that market and a $10 billion market cap. Now, remember, at Nightfood, we're addressing a $50 billion consumer spend. So who will be the category king? Well, we think it's going to be us. And the first reason is we're pioneering the category. And one of the rewards of being first is the positioning and the consumer mind share that comes with it. Consumers will accept the first mover as the category king, typically by default, if you do all the right things. And new entrants will have an uphill battle because they're going to be viewed by the consumer as, latecomers and copycats and counterfeits. And it's not a great position to be competing from. The next reason is Nightfood will soon be available in multiple snack formats. We're not an ice cream company. We are a snack company. It's understandable. Many investors are often hesitant or reluctant to invest in what they view as a one-trick pony. I've heard that a lot. And Nightfood plans to diversify across multiple sleep-friendly Nightfood snack formats here in 2022, starting with our cookies, which we are on track to produce in July. Now, having multiple snack formats projects to significantly increase our ability to generate revenue and trial and consumption at the hotel level on a per property basis. And it also gives us opportunities for other areas of commerce that are not readily available with ice cream pints, such as direct-to-consumer sales, airlines, which we see as an opportunity, things like that. And through our relationship with QVC, there would be better unit economics on cookies as well. So, and third, and this is the big one, is our ongoing national hotel launch. We believe that it presents us with an almost unfair advantage compared to the other companies that might choose to enter the space and chase us into this category, because there's lots of better for you snack companies out there, but some of the world's largest hotels are seeking out Nightfood, and the reason they're doing it is what you see on the screen. It's sleep, right? Hotels are in the sleep business. Most of the snacks, when you go into that hotel lobby shop, it's all the stuff that the sleep experts would tell you to avoid at night if you're going to be snacking. It's Pringles, it's Ben & Jerry's, it's Oreos or Chips Ahoy. Lots of fat, lots of sugar, not a lot of protein, not a lot of fiber. So only Nightfood delivers sleep-friendly nighttime snacking, and hotels have an obligation to help their guests sleep better at every touch point. They've already invested billions in better sleep through bedding and linens and blackout curtains, and now they have the opportunity to help nutritionally with no capital investment, right? No incremental cost. Just allocate some space to Nightfood where you already have other snacks. And, it's really hard for us to imagine any reason why any decision maker, either at the local level or at the headquarter level in the hotel industry, would choose not to add Nightfood once they become aware of it. And now that we're in full distribution, the unit economics are strong. We know the sales are strong. We've got robust sales validated in the test with the chain that's rolling us out. And again, we're available in national distribution now through Vistar, which is the leading distributor of snacks into the hotel vertical. So, what would stop a decision maker? How could you choose to not include Nightfood in your lobby shop, knowing that, you've got this sleep obligation and Nightfood's available and it's a strong performer? So, we're currently available in hundreds of hotel lobbies across the country. Over the next few months, we project to add distribution in thousands of hotels across dozens of major chains. And what we believe is that we're going to trigger a tipping point within the industry within the next 6 to 9 months, where the major hotel brands are going to begin viewing sleep-friendly snacks as a must-have, right? And if nothing else, just to keep up with the competition in the industry. This is not unusual in a highly competitive category. Something comes along, it starts off as a unique feature or bell and whistle, and before very long, it becomes industry standard because everybody's trying to outcompete each other to delight the customer. So look, there's approximately 56,000 hotels in the US currently. The big five you see here make up just under half of all the properties. One of them launched us into one of their largest US chains already, and another one of these five companies is currently testing us in one of their chains. Now, our target distribution-wise for February of 2023, which is 8 months away, is to secure distribution in 7,500 hotel locations, and our revenue target for that time frame is $6 per property per day, which would put us over $1 million in monthly revenue. And these projections are based on the results of the test last year conducted, again, by one of these five companies. Longer term, our target for 18 months from now, December of 2023, is to have Nightfood available in 20,000 hotel locations with an average revenue of $10 per property per day, which would bring us to $6.2 million in monthly revenue. And our projections have us attaining profitability at between 3,000 and 4,000 hotel locations, which we anticipate surpassing here in 2022. And we believe the hotel launch, which really it just started a few weeks ago, is the catalyst that's going to rapidly bring the category to life. And there are some key benefits above and beyond just the revenue growth that we talked about. Look, hotel margins are much, much stronger than supermarkets. Some of the largest expenses for a startup snack brand are going to be eliminated or greatly reduced in the hotel space. And those are slotting fees, promotional expenses, and having to spend millions of dollars on advertising. So these are some of the biggest line items. You know, when you walk into that supermarket and the product is on sale, the supermarket isn't accepting less money from you and absorbing that loss of revenue. The manufacturer makes that up, and that's true whether it's Nightfood or Ben and Jerry's or any of the big companies. So that gets very expensive for small brands very quick. And in the hotel space, we're not going to have those expenses. Products don't go on sale in the hotel. We're not going to need to do much advertising. We're not going to have slotting fees. So the result is going to be stronger gross margins, stronger net margins, and stronger profit potential. The next benefit is category advancement, right? Above and beyond the sales expected from the placement in tens of thousands of hotels across the country is the exposure that comes with that kind of distribution. Hotel inclusion of sleep-friendly snacks is going to send a very clear signal, we believe, to the consumer that tells them that what they eat before bed matters. And helping to establish that key belief in the minds of consumers is a massive step in moving a portion of that $50 billion in spend that I talked about earlier, moving a portion of that over into the sleep-friendly nighttime snacking category that we're pioneering. Now, educating a meaningful portion of the universe of consumers to have that belief and to try Nightfood through traditional channels would be very expensive, probably cost tens of millions of dollars. And even then, you know, who knows if we'd be able to succeed. But by being in tens of thousands of hotels, we expect our hotel partners to do so much of that heavy lifting for us. Not only do we avoid the expense, but in the exposure that we have, we're generating sales, profitable sales, and tons of paid consumer trial where consumers can then go and look for Nightfood products in their local stores. And that's why, with the help of the hotels, not only do we expect to grow revenues very rapidly and attain profitability and very strong margins, but we expect that to set the foundation for a nationwide supermarket rollout, which we would expect to begin in 12 to 18 months. Now, as competition pops up, as we certainly expect it to do, you know, we're going to look to, you know, Chobani and Vita Coco and 5 Hour Energy and learn from them how these startup companies were able to hold off and dominate the categories that they created, even when the global giants come in. And again, being in hotels gives us a tremendous advantage because it's not a space where they're going to be able to try to push us around and come in and outflank us as we see. So, you know, the other piece of that is if we're the ones in hotels and the largest hotel brands are trusting Nightfood, it makes it harder for the late coming arrivals from the global companies to try to convince consumers that their product is somehow better or more trustworthy, because we're the ones that hotels are trusting with their guests' late night cravings. Again, we know most people are not likely to drastically change their nighttime snacking patterns because we're biologically hardwired. So what we do is we look at the snacks people are already consuming at night, and we make sleep-friendly versions of those. We look at things like digestion, blood sugar levels, production of serotonin and melatonin, sleep onset and sleep quality, acid reflux, craving satisfaction, promotion of satiety, muscle relaxation. And I want to point out, we don't use drugs or sleep aids. This is not a supplement. What we're trying to do is give people a better snack if they choose to snack at night, whether that's 1 night a week, 3 nights a week, 5 nights a week. Give them something better that they can keep in the house or grab in the hotel that they know is a better option for those reasons. Each Nightfood snack format is going to be sleep friendly in its own way. For example, our ice cream, you can see here the tryptophan content of our ice cream is significantly higher than the other brands. But we wouldn't, for chips or cookies, it doesn't make sense to try to get tryptophan in there. It's just not practical. So we will look at each snack format and identify the most appropriate ways to do that. Now, there are some constants that you would typically see in Nightfood compared to the other brands. And in general, that would typically always be less sugar, less fat, fewer calories, more protein, and more fiber. Now, here's our team of leading sleep and nutrition experts: Dr. Michael Bruce, Dr. Lauren Brock, Dr. Michael Grandner, and celebrity chef Chris Santos. Our board of directors includes sleep expert Dr. Tanuja Hamilton, venture capitalist Nisa Amoyles, and Tom Morse, the founder of 5 Hour Energy. Operationally, we have a team of experienced entrepreneurs and executives from consumer packaged goods, including Jim Christensen, the former VP of ice cream sales for Unilever, and Doran Stern, the VP of marketing that took Chobani from 30 million to 850 million in just 4 years. Now, we know we've got a great team. We know we've got great products already on the market and what's in production and development right now. But most importantly, we know that we're addressing a very important consumer problem with significant financial upside if we're correct. We view sleep-friendly nighttime snacking as the next great consumer category, and we believe that our national hotel launch, which again just started a couple of weeks ago, is rapidly going to bring the category to life in the months ahead. Thank you. So do we have any questions?
Great job. Yes, we do have some questions for you, Sean. First of all, Kurt Carpenter says he wants you to provide details on when Nightfood will expand into some more additional products.
Yeah, so we have cookies are scheduled to be manufactured in July. R&D is, I would say, final with that. Packaging is expected to be ordered in the next few days. So that's the first thing. Chips would probably be next. We also expect to have chips manufactured potentially here in 2022. Oh, and with the cookies, I want to mention that one of the big hotel brands, hotel chains in the United States, has told us they're interested in testing the cookies. We're not sure if that's going to be in Q3 or Q4, but we definitely expect it to be this year. We're also looking at some airline opportunities for cookies as well, so we're very excited about that. Chips, like I said, would also be expected to be in 2022 here. Ice cream sandwiches and ice cream novelties, we've talked about that a bit in the past. That's also something that's a possibility for 2022, could be more like 2023. We wouldn't run that stuff until we have a commitment from a hotel chain to put it in. And the reason for that is that minimums for ice cream novelties are significantly higher than for the cookies and chips that we talked about. And the various opportunities for distribution are limited. We don't have the option to put those on planes. There's some hotels, I don't know what the number is, there's hotels that don't have freezers at all. So, doing dry goods first is the way to go. Once we think we're going to get to the point in the next 6 to 9 months where the hotels are just going to want everything we can throw at them. And at that point, we would be launching the ice cream novelties, the sandwiches, and stuff like that. And then also regarding kind of related, but not perfectly related, is we mentioned in our last Q that we are moving our ice cream pint production to a new high-speed facility. And those pilot tests are going on right now. Everything looks great. And we have a production run scheduled for June 21st. And at this facility, they're making 80,000 pints a day, which is more than twice as much as what our old facility was capable of. And we're doing that because of the anticipated increase in volume and velocity with the hotel launch.
Great. Well, I'm personally excited for the in-flight snacking, so I will look forward to that. Leela Dean asks, what makes you so confident that Nightfood will succeed in hotels when it wasn't able to stay on supermarket shelves?
Yeah, so I mean, really, it's a couple of things. It's the fact that one of the world's largest hotel companies ran their test. What we know is that in the supermarket environment, where we might have 3 or 4 flavors in a whole set of ice cream pints, where there might be 600 varieties between all the Ben & Jerry's and Haagen-Dazs and Talenti, and it's very easy to get lost in there. And even if you're not, even if you get seen in that environment, it's not really in context. And what that means is, people are out there, they're doing their grocery shopping. Maybe it's Tuesday morning, at 11 o'clock, and they're buying groceries for the whole week. But in that hotel environment, when you walk into that lobby shop, as you saw from some of the pictures, in some cases, there's 2 or 3 brands. In other cases, Nightfood is going to be the only brand. So we're going to be in the consideration set, I think, for a lot more people there. And the other thing is that it's in context. So, if you're walking into that lobby shop, it's 10 after 9, you've got a meeting the next morning, and you're there to buy something that you're going to consume in the moment, right? And so when it says sleep friendly on it, and it's nighttime and you're about to go to sleep, it makes a lot more sense. So I think that's why we saw good, robust sales during the test. Certainly, the projections we built are based on the test results, and our confidence is also based on the test results.
That's a good point. Tom Norton wants to know, what is in your ice cream that makes people go to sleep?
What's in the ice cream? Well, so it's not, there's no sleep aids. The ice cream is not intended to make people go to sleep. People have been going to sleep for tens of thousands of years very easily. Only in the last few decades have we really started to mess ourselves up by what we put in front of our faces in terms of screens, what we put in our bodies, what thoughts are in our head. So what we just want to do is make sure nutrition is not a problem, and make sure that for anybody snacking at night, they're able to have something that's what we call sleep friendly. So we looked at what things do you want to avoid at night and what would you rather have more of, and that's what we formulated. But there's no sleep aids, there's no drugs or anything like that.
All right. Ross Frazier asks, he says he's seen articles where you mentioned interest from Nestle and Pepsi, to name a few. How serious do you think that is? And do you think an acquisition is likely?
Well, I think it's very serious. I mean, these are the biggest food and beverage companies in the world, and they're spending real dollars to launch into the space or to do research. Nestle launched a product a couple of years ago called Good Night. It was a candy that had, I think it was magnesium and L-theanine. It failed. Pepsi launched Driftwell, which was a beverage. It failed. Unilever is spending dollars on research right now. They're making it public. I'm not sure, why they're doing that necessarily. But so they're all very serious. We know they're watching us. We've been contacted by some very large food and beverage companies, not acquisition talks, but just, conversations, interest in seeing what we're doing. So I think, they're very serious, and I'd be surprised, when these guys are ready to enter the space. And this is why we're very aggressively wanting to grow quickly in the hotel space, because it's going to force all roads to come through Nightfood. If we get, big enough over the next 12 months or so, I don't think any of them would launch into the market without first calling us to discuss acquisition concepts. Who's to say where those conversations would go? But, if we accomplish what we're setting out to do, then they're going to have to consider it, because they know the category's there, and we know they're interested in the space. We've been told by some of these companies that they see a huge category.
Luke Reeves wants to know why you haven't publicly named your first hotel chain yet.
Yeah, we just haven't been given the green light yet. They are wanting to be ready with their communications as well. We were honestly hoping to be able to have announced it by now, but it's a small price to pay. We've got a great relationship with the company, not at the chain level, but at the headquarter level, and they've got big plans. We've got big plans together with them. Lots of hotels, lots of different snack food products. And, the fact that we have not yet been able to mention their name publicly is a small inconvenience that we'll live with. And once we get the thumbs up, we'll go out and make the announcement. There's no further delays. We did have a lot of delays leading up to the launch. Since those first purchase orders started coming, everything's going fine. Nobody should read into the fact that we haven't been able to make the announcement yet, other than the fact that they want to make sure that it's in the high majority of the properties in that first chain, and that they're ready to coordinate the communication as well.
All right, Sean. Well, we have tons of questions for you, but we are out of time. So we're going to keep going with our conference, but we would love for you to send us some samples so we can try them and give you our feedback as well. At least I would.
We'll make it happen. Absolutely.
All right. Really, thank you for your time. And this is a really cool, innovative product and company. We look forward to having you again with some updates.
Great. Thank you so much. My pleasure.
All right. Thanks for joining us. Okay. Stay with us, everyone. We're transitioning to the next presenter. We'll be right back.